Welcome to WatchBETA TV. Here are top 10 list of best games in 2018. It's already shaping up to be a strong year for gaming, with many highly anticipated games already out or set for release later this year. Here's WatchBETA's guide to the best games of 2018 and the most exciting upcoming game releases still to come. Number 1. Detroit: Become Human. Quantic Dream has continued to evolve its signature genre of cinematic branching adventure games, and DBH is certainly its best so far. Playing as 3 different android protagonists, your choices can take the narrative of androids going rogue in different directions, leading to several varied endings. Even if you lose fights, fail objectives, or even get killed. It deals with some heavy themes, albeit quite bluntly at points, and there isn't a lot of gameplay beyond pressing the prompted buttons. But the real joy will come from exploring all the game's different story paths and its near-future world, and appreciating the motion-captured performances of the main cast. Number 2. Pillars of Eternity 2: Deadfire. The previous Pillars of Eternity showed that there was still an appetite for the older style of isometric RPGs, and Obsidian Entertainment was more than happy to cater for it again. Now taking place on a cluster of islands 5 years before the first game, you and your ship's crew pursue a recently awakened god to discover its plans and save the part of your soul it stole. There are many places to explore and many people to meet along the way, giving it the satisfying feel of a well-planned tabletop D&D session. If you are looking for a lore and gameplay-rich way to sink your time, you should definitely look at Deadfire. Number 3. Dark Souls Remastered. For those who want to get God and praise the sun, but missed it the first time round. Dark Souls Remastered gives From Software's action RPG hit a shiny new paint job for the current generation of gaming hardware. The notoriously tough but fair game takes you through a tightly connected dark fantasy world filled with traps, enemies, and enormous boss monsters. There is a story told in pieces by the few friendly faces you meet and the items you find in the world. But the majority of your time will be spent exploring and fighting for your life as you move from bonfire to bonfire. It comes with the game's DLC content included too, making this the definitive way to play one of the most acclaimed titles of recent years. Number 4. God of War. There's been a lot of changes made to the new God of War when compared to the original PlayStation 2 and 3 games. More inspiration has been taken from RPGs, with the addition of side quests, a branching world map, and more upgrades for weapons and armor. Kratos' son joins the fight with his own abilities. And the Greek setting's been swapped for a chillier Norse one. Happily, Santa Monica Studio have made it all fit together well. The game looks and feels great, especially the combat with its diverse range of abilities and powers. Number 5. Minute. With only 60 seconds to act each day before you are sent back to the start, Minute could be enormously frustrating. Instead, the Devolver Digital published title is in fact a fun little puzzle game in the guise of a retro RPG. The important events are permanent even after death, and there are shortcuts and alternative routes which let you save time or find a different goal to pursue. It's understandably a short experience, but one that doesn't waste your time. Number 6. Frostpunk. Most city-building games don't have obvious moral choices to make, but circumstances in Frostpunk are desperate. As the last city on a snow-covered Earth, it's your responsibility to keep the citizens alive by any means. 11-Bit Studios, who previously made the war survival game This War of Mine, have once again created a morally gray world with the potential for players to make horrific choices in the name of living another day. It's more limited in scope than its rivals, and repeat playthroughs are less enjoyable, but the steam power and survival themes make it a novel experience. Number 7. Sea of Thieves. Rare Studios' pirating adventure is a bit of a short voyage at the moment, as it lacks enough varied content for long-term appeal. What is there, however, is enjoyable both on your own or with a crew of friends. The game puts a lot of effort into making what could be just another competitive multiplayer game stress-free and fun, with plenty of opportunities for nautical nonsense as well as serious objectives like attacking sea monsters or rival buccaneers. There are also some interesting new ideas of how to punish trolling players and keep the community shipshape and Bristol fashion. Number 8. Far Cry 5. After some well-received but iterative titles in recent years, Ubisoft is adding plenty of new ingredients to Far Cry 5 in the hope of getting players excited about its franchise again. Its US setting with religious extremist enemies is a departure from the more exotic locations and baddies of previous games, as is its arcade mode. Featuring custom maps and game types to keep you entertained once you've liberated Hope County, Montana. At its foundations, the game remains a well-developed FPS, with plenty of action and excitement to be found in its open world. Number 9. Pit People. After tackling the run-and-gun, beat-em-up and co-op platformer genres in its previous games, developer The Behemoth has now revealed the finished version of its turn-based strategy game. After just over a year of tinkering in its early access period, the mechanics contain plenty of depth for strategy enthusiasts, but they are very beginner-friendly too. But the standout quality is the surreal humor and world design for which the studio is renowned. If you want to strike your enemies with unicorn horns and sink plungers while completing equally bizarre quests for XP and loot, look no further. Number 10. Shadow of the Colossus. Team ICO's giant slaying classic from the PlayStation 2 has been given a refresh for the PS4, courtesy of Blue Point Games. In order to resurrect a cursed maiden, the player must roam the Forbidden Lands and defeat all 16 bosses who inhabit it, each encounter part environmental puzzle and part combat challenge. It's just as mysterious and fun to play as the original, but now looking better than ever. Do you like the video? Please like and subscribe for more of WatchBETA's videos. Go.